What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Philly sports history for August 2nd, 2023. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. Phil's made two trades actually. At the trade deadline, they acquired pitcher Michael Lorenzen from the Tigers for their number 5 prospect, Wei-Yu Lee, which it's kind of a high price because Lorenzen is his contract's up at the end of this year. But Lee, honestly, was going to be buried behind Stott and Turner on the depth chart anyway. So this is definitely a win now sort of move. Lorenzen is going to be starting on Thursday, kind of going right into the starting rotation. He does have experience for the bullpen, so he provides that versatility. Apparently, he's a good hitter, too. So if you ever run into a pinch, he could play the outfield. But again, it's one of those moves, I think, almost it could be similar to the whole Joe Blanton move that they made in 2008. We'll have to wait and see on that. That meant they designated Josh Harrison for assignment, so he'll probably sign somewhere else. They traded Bailey Falter for Rodolfo Castro from the Pirates, who's a utility infielder, who's a switch hitter. I mean, I guess he provides a bat off the bench. They were looking for a right-handed hitter, but they did not make any moves for an outfielder, and I don't know whether I don't think it's necessarily for lack of trying. I just think Dombrowski was smart about it. Castro, you might remember, was the guy who had his phone pop out of his pocket sliding into third base. So, I mean, overall, kind of a sort of move, but we'll see. It could pay dividends. You never know. But on the field, Alcantara was lights out for the first 8 innings, and ninth inning, Phil's come back, win it 3-1. Ranger looks solid. Bryce is sort of the catalyst then for that rally in the ninth. Castellanos hit the home run. Good to see him kind of bounce at. Hopefully that is him now going and snapping out of whatever he's been in. But they're guaranteed at least a split with the Marlins, so let's go out tonight and take one more. They're sitting right there at the top of the standings, so you can't beat that. The jury's still out on the trade deadline moves, but again, I specifically remember we just talked about this on Back to the Future a couple weeks ago with Joe Blanton. It was sort of one of those, so maybe the change of scenery, playing with a team that's not terrible might help Lorenzen out. But we won't have long to wait as he's going to be pitching tomorrow afternoon. They are back in action tonight. I believe Zach Wheeler is on the mound tonight. But looking to take the first 3, and then it's gravy mode. Maybe Lorenzen can help us get the sweep. If you want more Phillies coverage, check out our friends at 2008 Phils. They have the world's biggest email Phillies newsletter. Subscription, if right now that's given 75% off. Read the description to follow the exclusive link for This Day in Philly Sports History listeners. You get access to all of their great content, all of the archives. You get that awesome 2008 World Series banner shirt. 2008 Phils will follow your Twitter account. You get access to giveaways, autographs, tickets, memorabilia, all that other good stuff. So be sure to check them out. Follow that link. I did pull the names for the one free month 30-day subscription. Congratulations to Rob Wheat, Chris Doherty, and Tom Shields. I did reach out to the 3 of you for your email address, so if you want, as soon as you give me that email address, I will get that set up for you. But again, congratulations and thank you for your support. Everyone else, 75% off, $2 a month, $70 or $20 for the year. It's totally worth it just for the content alone. All right, Sixers update. Finally, we have a slight update on this. There are rumors now of multiple teams being interested in James Harden. I know the Knicks were linked before, but nobody really knows who. Right now, it's all speculation and rumors. I know the Clippers are probably the likely trading partner, and I think they're going to end up giving up more than what they want. The Sixers aren't going to get as much, but I think a trade eventually will get done there. My Owls have a new logo. The jury's still out for me. It has the Temple T, the owl. It's like it's almost like a Harry Potter looking owl, in a diamond, which I do think the diamond is cool. If you know anything about Temple, the Acres of Diamond story is big in their history. Again, I think it's better than the cartoonish one they had. Again, the jury's still out for me. I'm anxious to see what it translates to, like on the uniforms or things like that. But new Temple logo, and sort of lost in the lost in the announcement of the Eagles Kelly Green. So it's sort of like the timing just not good for Temple. But go check it out. Let me know your thoughts. Eagles update: Kayvon Wallace apparently is looking good, as well as Reed Blankenship. But Hurts has just looked great by all reports. And this isn't like one person saying it. This is multiple people saying how sharp Hurts looks. And I mean, this dude is dialed in. There was this story about his phone background, which was him walking off with the Chiefs confetti falling down after the Super Bowl to keep him grounded, keep him motivated. He's saying that the Eagles didn't lose. We learned from it. You either win or you learn. And again, I keep saying it, but man, if I'm going to put money on anybody to go back and win the Super Bowl the year after, I'm betting on Jalen Hurts. I mean, the dude is focused. I'd look for him to have a monster year. So I'm excited. I cannot wait. Let's get through the preseason and start the regular season. But, excuse me, this dry air now all of a sudden is messing with my allergies. But today we're going to go back to 2016, and on this day, the Phillies beat the Giants 13-8. Aaron Altair went 3 for 5 with a home run and 5 RBI. Maikel Franco went 4 for 4 with a home run and 4 RBIs. Cameron Rupp also hit a homer and had 3 RBIs. But the big story was a fan was ejected by home plate umpire Bob Davidson in the 6th inning. Now, Davidson has a rep for being a jerk and making it about him as the umpire, which umpires, referees, it should never be about you. You should just be there in the background. But Bob Davidson is known for that. He has a short fuse. He's known for some bad calls and then just being a jackass about it. He once threw out the Montreal Expos mascot because he was messing with Tommy Lasorda. And this, again, goes all through his career. But apparently he threw this fan out for repeatedly saying, "You suck." But no lies were detected. But the Phillies fans have that reputation, but this is a little bit ridiculous. So on this day back in 2016, the Phillies beat the Giants 13-8, but Bob Davidson threw out a fan in the 6th inning for telling him he sucked, which on this day probably was the truth. All right, you know who doesn't suck? PhillyGoat.com. Go check them out. They just come out with new shirts. There's new shirts that are released almost every week. They have, if you remember the ones where they would have like Jimmy and Chase and Ryan, have a new one out, very Philly-centric, John and John and John and John. Pretty cool. Any color you want. Just got an email about it yesterday, so be sure to check out PhillyGoat.com. John is not your thing. They have a wide selection of the Kelly Green, Sixers, Flyers, Phillies, you name it, they have it. Go check them out. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery, 10% off of your order. Do some back-to-school shopping. Have your kids be the cool kids in school with some great shirts. Gear up. Get ready for the Phillies playoff run. Again, Eagle season, whatever you want, they have. So go check them out. Use that promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off. All right, it's August. For the month of August, we're doing 31 questions about the Eagles in 31 days. Yesterday, we touched on the schedule, and it seems for the most part, everybody thinks they're going to be in that 11-12 win range. I did a poll, so be sure to interact wherever you see on my social media, Jimbo_Mont. Check out if you're listening on Spotify, the interaction things on the app there. But today the question is the head coach, Nick Sirianni. And before training camp, the last we saw Nick Sirianni, he was getting basically out-coached in the second half of the Super Bowl by Andy Reid. Now, Andy Reid is a Hall of Famer. Andy Reid is a great coach. But I also question how much of that was Sirianni or was it James Gannon? I don't even remember his name now. I don't remember his first name, but he doesn't deserve it because he sucked that bad. But Gannon just having his head in Arizona. I don't know. I mean, I'm anxious to see. This is year 3 now for him. He's 23-11, and I think this is a make or break year for him. He's got 2 new coordinators, so we're going to see how much now. It's his second set of coordinators now. How much of this is like his culture? How much he has a grip on this team? You do know that he basically his first year, he gave the whole flower speech of how we're growing roots, and everybody ripped him. And then all of a sudden, they started to play better. And then we saw what happened last year. So maybe he's on to something. I think once he gave up play calling, it kind of freed him up to be a good head coach. He seems like he's doing the right things in camp, kind of pushing the right buttons when he needs to get on the team versus laying off. He's keeping them focused. He's saying we need to get better each day. He's saying that I want to get better. I'm not worried about winning the Super Bowl yet. I'm just worried about getting better. You got to win 1 game before you win 2. So he has that right mindset, and I want to see how now this goes into year 3. Personally, I think he's the right guy for the job. I like him a lot. I think he has the right mindset, the right attitude, and the way he handles this team is great. But it's worth questioning because of how the second half of the Super Bowl went. I still think it was Jonathan Gannon, but we'll see. This is now we're going to know this year what we have with Nick Sirianni. And again, I personally think he's a good coach. I don't necessarily see this as a question mark. I see it more of a strength of this team. But be sure to let me know what you think, because it is a fair assessment to say, hey, last time we saw you, you were getting out-coached by Andy Reid. So let me know what you think. But Nick Sirianni, I think, this is going to be the year where he gets into that elite coach tier. I'm not saying Hall of Fame or anything like that, but I think he's right there on the bubble. But I think this year we're going to see he's going to be one of the elite coaches in the National Football League. But again, let me know what you think. I'll put this up as the question on Spotify. Leave me a comment. What are your thoughts on Sirianni? Thank you for all of the interaction and participation you guys have been doing over the past month or so. It's great. All of that helps us grow this. So thank you, and be sure to let me know what you think of Nick Sirianni. On this day in 2016, the Phillies beat the Giants, but one fan only made it 6 innings because Bob Davison decided to make it about him and ejected him for consistently saying he sucked, which his track record speaks for itself. Be sure to check out our friends at Philly GOAT as well as 2008 Phils. Rob, Chris, and Tom, congrats on winning the free 1-month subscription. Be sure to get your email addresses to me. Also, let me know what you think of the Temple logo. Again, it's one of those things. I don't hate it, but I'm not like, oh my God, this is awesome. We'll see. Phil's back in action tonight. This has been This Day in Philly Sports History. I'm Jim Montgomery. Go have yourselves a Wednesday, and until next time, I'll see you when I see you.